Hi friends, good morning or evening or whatever it is where you are. For me right now it's morning. I'm need to go to work shortly, but did I just get mascara on my all right. So I have been toying with the idea of making my self-destructing TBR books like part of a series every month. Just so I have a designated place to talk more about these books that have been on my shelf for a very long time, though maybe not as long as some other books have been on my TBR. But anyways, so I'm just gonna give it a shot and see how it goes, because that's pretty much how I'm treating my YouTube is, let's try this and see if it works. So I am going to start A Brush with Love by Maisie Eddies today. I have this on audio as well from Libro FM. So I'm probably going to start it on audio today. Just because in this year so far, I am finding, audiobooks to be really essential to me reading a book. And I've noticed with books where I don't have an audiobook readily available, my reading is a lot slower, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I would theorize that I am kind of a slow reader anyways, but I think because I read multiple books at the same time, it gives the impression that I am a quick reader, but it doesn't feel like that to me. But that tangent aside, this is a contemporary romance about a dental student and like a dentist. And I've heard it has really great ADHD rep, and that's really all I know about it. And I'm excited to finally dive in and get this book off of my TBR. So I will update when I am, I guess, halfway through and let you know my thoughts. But yeah, all right. Hi friends. All right. I am here with an update. I read 60% of this book yesterday. I had to force myself to stop reading it around 7 because it was either that or finish the book in one day, and I wasn't prepared. I wasn't emotionally ready to finish a book in one day. This is so cute. Okay, I was wrong in the intro. This has general anxiety disorder rep, not ADHD rep. I think another book by Maisie Eddies has ADHD rep, but it's not this book. So our love interests, Harper and Dan, they are both dental students. Harper is a 4th year, Dan is a 1st year. And it's midway through the year, so Harper's about 5 months away from graduating. And they meet because Harper and her friend are at school and they're going down a stairwell, and Harper slips and falls down the stairs, and Dan is like coming up the stairs, and she basically like wipes his legs out from underneath him, and they like kind of land on top of each other. And that's how they meet. And it is so cute. It is so sweet. It is so funny. I am not someone who laughs out loud when I read very often. And I also don't make a lot of like facial expressions. But I noticed that I was smiling a lot while reading this because the dialogue between Harper and Dan is so funny. And they are both so awkward
with each other, and it's just adorable. But then it's also got some like really heartfelt moments. They're both dealing with really crappy family situations. And then Harper has generalized anxiety disorder, and she also has claustrophobia, and those pop up in really real ways. And I just think the communication is so good. I love that Dan is all in from the moment he meets Harper. Like, he is just smitten with her from the get-go, and that is really my vibe. Like, I am not a fan of the romances where the dude is super standoffish, is not into the girl like right away. Like, no. I want, if I'm gonna read a het romance, I want him to be gone from the get-go and just knows he is never gonna deserve her, but he cannot live without her. That is the vibe I want in my romance novels, and Maisie delivers beautifully. So my hope is that the 40% of the book I have left lives up to the expectation set by the first 60% of the book. Fingers crossed. But like, this would have to take a hard turn to not be a 5-star book. Fingers crossed that it doesn't screw it up and it stays a 5-star book. Anyways, so fun. Okay, I will be back when I have finished this.
Good morning. I finished A Brush with Love last night, and it is so cute. I gave it 4.5 stars. It got pretty serious towards the end. I would say there's a content warning for loss of a parent, and of course Harper's generalized anxiety disorder. So look out for those if that's a trigger for you. But I thought it was so sweet. I loved, this might be a spoiler, but I love that there wasn't like a baby epilogue. Like, if you read romance, then you know what I'm talking about. But if romance is not your usual like cup of tea, baby epilogue is in romance frequently in the epilogue. The main couple, it either finds out that they're pregnant, or it's fast forwarded down the line to where they have had a child or two, and I hate it. It's like my big pet peeve of romance, to the point where like sometimes I debate skipping the epilogue, because I just think it's so invalidating to imply that like you need to have a child for your relationship to be valid. Anyways, tangent aside, I really like this. It was such a pleasant surprise. I have the second book, which is about Harper's bestie, Lizzie. I have the audio of that from Libro FM, and I immediately downloaded it after I finished this book. I don't know when I'll start listening to it, but I'm like just so delighted and so thrilled with how much I loved this book. Realizations that like Dan and Harper come to. I love that they like each have their own shit to work out, and that they work it out separately, and that Maisie Eddings doesn't like fall on that I guess cliche of, oh, love will fix all your problems. Like, no, you got to work on your own shit. So I really liked all of that. And yeah, it's a good book. I'm so happy I finally read it. Really excited to read the rest of Eddings' books. Lizzie Blake's Best Mistake, I think is what it's called, is out now, and book 3 comes out like the beginning of April. So it's a good time to binge this series. And I think there's going to be one more book, because there's 4 girlfriends. So, you know, romance rules, 4 books. But yeah, okay. I have to go to work, and I need to make coffee before I go to work. So I'm going to do that, and then I will come back at another time to talk about the book that I'm going to read next for this vlog.
It has been an eternity later. Actually, it's probably only been a week, but it has been the longest week of my life. Probably not true, but it feels like it. Anyways, I just downloaded the audiobook for The Circus Infinite from Libro FM, so I am officially diving into it. Let's see, I think I touched on this really briefly, maybe in another video, so I'll talk about it here. So this is a space opera about a space circus. It says oh my goodness. I think this is the universe telling me to not read a synopsis on YouTube, but I'm going to try again. Persephone 9 is the galaxy's most infamous pleasure moon. It's big truck time. And it is here that Jess, a mixed race, asexual empath with gravity manipulation abilities, is hoping to hide in plain sight from the scientists hunting him after his escape from their torturous study. Joining the circus, as runaways often do, he finds at the Circus Infinite a band of misfits that accept and welcome him into their circle. It's not long, though, until the local crime boss, Nico, stumbles upon who Jess really is and how much he is worth. Armed with the knowledge, he makes Jess an offer he can't refuse. But when Nico's request of espionage, torture, and demolition threaten the circus, Jess and his friends fight back. Now it's all the school buses are going by. I don't know what's going on. School's not out for like another 45 minutes. Can they take the mobsters down and keep Jess safe from the scientists tracking him across the galaxy? So excited. All right, I'm going to dive in. I will either update as I read things that I get excited about or at the 50% mark. Whichever comes first. Okay, I'm only 2 chapters in, but I did want to let y'all know that I returned the audiobook to Libro FM, or at least I emailed them asking to return it, because when I listened to the sample, I really liked the narrator's voice. However, the sample was just the narrator narrating and not doing characters' voices. And they're not good at doing characters' voices. It sounded like me when I'm reading aloud to my kids and putting on voices. So not good. Not good. So fingers crossed Libro takes pity on me and takes that book back. And I'm going to whip myself in the face with my bookmark. I'm going to continue reading it just with my eyeballs. That's my day off, and I just went to the gym and I don't even know what my hair is doing, but I'm getting iced coffee because iced coffee all year round. And also I really wanted one earlier this week, but I told myself that I needed to wait until Friday. But it's like kind of snowing. And it's gonna be April in 1 week. And it's real weird. It's like this mix of snow and like rain, but mostly snow. So like snow and like really fat raindrops. It's not quality content, but still, it's snowing like at the tail end of March.
this is, there are no words for how deeply disturbing I find snow to be this late in the year. I mean, I find snow disturbing all the time, but like, especially now, like what is going on?
All right, well, I am sad to say it, but I got 40 pages in and it's a DNF for me. It sadly was not just the audiobook. So a couple things that the writing style isn't working for me. It's third person present, which I guess is fine, but I don't love it. And then the main character, who's an empath, the author uses the word sus for when he is using his empath skills and sensing what other people are feeling. And I could have turned how many times the word sus is used into a drinking game, and I would have been blackout drunk within 40 pages. It is used so much. And once I started clocking it, I couldn't unclock it. And then the other thing that was kind of bothering me is, so Jez, our main character, also Jez is just uncomfortably close to another word that I'm not going to say, but if you can figure it out, then you are going to know what my other problem was when I was listening to the audiobook. But the other thing that was bothering me is that Jez is ace, which is great. I want to read books with ace main characters. And he's sex repulsed, which again, great. Love to have that representation on the page. However, he is doing some sex shaming in his head in the beginning of this book. And that I am not here for, because like, you can be ace and be sex positive. Like, you don't have to, like, I don't know. As someone who is also ace, I just think sex positivity is really important, even if it's not your jam, even if that's not something you want to engage in. That really bothered me. And oh gosh, I had something else that was bothering me that I didn't like. Oh, so this is really what, like, if I was going to rank, I don't know what is wrong with people who live on my street and why their cars are so loud all the time. If I had to rank, like, the things that, like, how much the things that bothered me, this would be, like, top of my list. These characters are so obsessed with what each other's genetic makeup is. Like, every single interaction of Jez meeting another person was, oh, you look like you're half this and half that, and like, where are you from? Or, oh, what is your ancestry? It was like, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I think that I could read contemporary fiction that explores that, if that was a conversation I was interested in exploring. But I'm not interested in 2023 racial microaggressions in a space opera. And if I am going to find that in this genre, I want it to be more creative than it is in this. So with that, I am going to close out this vlog, go eat some food, go drink my giant coffee that I just got, and the snow situation just keeps escalating. But I don't know. I don't know if this is something I'll do every month. I do know I only have one book on my Self-Destructing TBR for April, but then I have, I think, 5 on it for May. So we'll see. But we got one DNF and then one 4.5. So I think that's a successful vlog, to find a book that I really, really liked, maybe even loved, even if the other one was not my fave. Why am I so bad at outros? If you've watched to the end, thank you so much for watching and sharing your precious time with me. I hope you have a wonderful whatever the rest of your day you have left, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.